yesterday you said you did have the pace, and you proved it today, obviously, with the win. Just sum me up for your race. I think that attack mode you took 6 minutes, having that 6 minutes at the end, that was what won you the race for me, I felt.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was my car had 6+2, and I changed it because I had an opportunity to take the 2, not lose any positions, and then I knew I had a good energy advantage, and if you have more attack mode with an energy advantage, it always is good news, let's say. So yeah, good inspired choice. And
when did you make that choice?
I made that choice pretty much the lap I took it, because I think Jeff damaged his wing, so he dropped back a bit, and I had a gap to do it into, because here the trouble is it's quite a big loss, and you can lose 2 or 3 places, and then you spend that 2 minutes just gaining back the 2-3 places. But yeah, to be honest, I kind of wrote off the first attack man. I said, let's keep saving in that phase of the race, and then let's kind of go when I'm 300, because people less expect it.
Yeah, and then obviously going into the next couple of races, you struggled a tiny bit last year in the Chinese leg. What have you learned, do you think, from this season that can help you, keep that consistency so we can man that championship challenge now that you're second?
Well, I think Sanya, I was pretty strong in the first race. Shanghai, I was 4th in the first race, and actually probably could have been on the podium, and then the second day was completely wet. So I think our package will be okay there. I think in Sanya, my first pole ever in Formula E was there, so and my first podium. Yeah. So yeah, we just have to keep working hard and just try and execute the weekend the best we can.
All right, thank you very much, Charlie. Antonio, honestly, that could be one of your best comeback drives, from obviously spinning at the back to P3. Talk me through your race. I think that early attack mode for 6 minutes, that was the key.
It wasn't an early one, to be honest. It was actually quite late, and I think that was the key. But yeah, hats off to my strategy team. We've obviously spent a few hours trying to understand how we can win this race from the front row. And then within 10 laps, everything changed, and they had the capability to change that on the fly. And okay, let's try and minimize damage here today. And they brought me all the way back to the front. Made some good moves on my way there, and yeah, happy to make that comeback stick.
Yeah, we saw a lot of penalties today. Obviously, I know Mortara got a penalty for the collision with you. Are you happy to see those type of penalties? And they were tough penalties as well. We saw.
To be honest, the Edo thing, I mean, it sucks for me, but it was a misjudgment from him. And the first thing he did, he apparently already texted me, and he just came here and massively apologized. And I have no problem. We're all human beings. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. Misjudgments happen. I've had a few of them against me this year, but when somebody comes to me and apologizes, I've got zero problems with that.
Yeah, and in terms of consistency, even though with the struggles, I know obviously yesterday wasn't one, but you are being very consistent. How important is that to keep that now as we go into the Asian leg of the season?
Yeah, I mean, there's some good tracks for me coming up. I've been good in Shanghai in the past. Sanya, I was actually on the podium there when we raced in season 5. So yeah, I mean, I'm race by race now. I think this season has looked like nothing was coming our way, then it looked like we can win this thing, and now I don't know what to think anymore, so literally race by race.
All right, thank you very much. Final time, obviously, driving in Monaco, and you get another point.
Yes. When we spoke yesterday, it was 1 point, it ended up being 4. So hopefully today, as the time passes, we get more and more points as well. Who knows? But yeah, 2 races here, 2 points. Considering the state that we are with the team, that's almost like 2 podiums, right? It's very hard for us to score points, so having a double point here in Monaco on my final appearance here in this amazing track, I enjoyed every minute, and I will miss it, but I'm happy that for the other races that I did here as well.
Yeah, and talk to me about just Monaco in general. That was the last time driving it. What was your emotions in the car?
Honestly, I didn't even thought about it. I live here, right? I take these streets every single day. Like my going to the gym is through the start-finish line. So I take that every single day. And you don't realize when you're in the car, it's just another track. You just focus so much on what you have to do that, at least for me, that you don't really think about a lot of other things.
Yeah.
And but I enjoyed when I crossed the line, and I knew that I was gonna get a point. I think it was a good way to finish, and of course we want to always achieve more. But considering the fact, I think we did a good job.
Obviously, this weekend has been a complete write-off for you. Just what was the main struggles, I suppose, for yourself? I don't know, yesterday it was more of like collisions and punctures and so forth, but just run me through your weekend. What was the main sticking point?
Yeah, yesterday, as you said, I think we were good for a podium, but yeah, got that puncture. Today is honestly just grip. A tire which has done the whole day yesterday and the race, and did the practice session this morning. Felt good. We put on new tires and we struggle with grip. So we know it's not something unusual. It happened many times already this year or also last year. So there's not much to understand. It is what it is.
Is it confusing because Monaco is kind of a high grip surface? Normally that's what they say. It provides more grip than most tracks that maybe we go to in Formula E. So does that surprise you in any way?
No, it has nothing to do with the track.
Okay.
There are clear differences in the tire sets, and a pretty bad one today.
Was it just the tires? So if you go into Shanghai and Sanya now, do you reckon that problem is something that you'd have to work on, or is that something that is just track specific?
That's nothing we can do. That's nothing that is in our control. The sets are matched by luck or by...
So just effectively a bad set of tyres?
Yeah, that's how it felt.
So fingers crossed for a better set of tyres in Sanya, and then maybe you'll be back at the front.
Well, that's not in our control, so we try to focus on things that we can control. But I think it's pretty obvious if you go quicker on a used set than on a new one, and you change nothing on the car and the car behaves completely different, there's something. And I'm not the first one who is commenting that, and I will not be the last one this year. So that's the situation right now, we try to focus on the things we can control, and that is making the car quicker, optimizing things even more, and bounce back strong when we have the opportunity.
All right, thank you very much, Pascal.
Mate, the highs are highs and the lows are lows.
Absolutely.
How do you reflect on everything that's happened?
Bittersweet. I think the qualifying performances is something that I'll remember in my career forever. I don't think there's been many other times where I've driven much better than that. I think Pole and Macau 2018, the Tokyo lap until I put it in the wall. Some other qualifying performances I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, the one yesterday and today were very special. Car wasn't the quickest yesterday. I felt like I hit the wall a couple of times in quali. I was really pushing. Today we made a few changes, and it was just in that fantastic sweet spot. And being able to drive around Monaco with a car that you trust, and right up to the walls, it's a fantastic feeling. So thanks to the team for giving me the car to do that today. Like I say, we'll cherish that for a long time. The races, which I'm sure you'll ask, yesterday, I feel like over both the races the strategy has not been catastrophic, but pretty poor, I think. Certainly yesterday, I feel like the plan was obviously to bump the targets up early by slowing down the race, and then we should have just boxed early and kept the lead. Even if we were a bit down on energy, the targets were up there where it would have been hard for them to overtake. So I think we got that a bit wrong, and today I think we were a bit late on attack modes as well. But the car's really poor when the tyres get hot, so that's something we need to have a look at. We made changes through the weekend and also from Berlin, and we can't seem to have good race pace once the tyres get hot. It's like a snowball effect, then it becomes inefficient. So it's very disappointing, to be honest. But I think me and my car crew, my mechanics, performance engineer proved that, as a package, we, on merit alone, we are the fastest. So we can all be very proud of that.
Just also on yesterday, it was a definition of the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. Obviously, the pole and the penalty for the race. How difficult is it in those moments when you go from such a high to such a low to, I guess, try and control and understand your emotions, and I suppose, not let yourself get, too angry, too upset, when it's such a difficult situation?
Look, I mean, I really have to hold what I say about the championship and stuff, but I've said it a bit on radio and obviously in past interviews. I have enormous respect for Jeff and his team and what they're doing for Gen 4. I think it's all going in a very positive direction. I think their hands are obviously a bit tied in what they could have done with the racing this year. So I don't want to, insult the championship, but I do feel that these peloton races they're just terrible. it's not enough about merit. It's too much about strategy and luck. That's what I've obviously said a few times during this year, and I just want to reiterate, it's not me slagging off the championship. It's just the way it is at the moment. We as a team aren't making the most of the peloton races. So there's obviously things we can do better, but just in general for the championship, I'm told things will change for Gen 4. So I'm just fingers crossed that we have more races based on qualifying performance and not just strategy. Yeah.
Do you think we'll be here for Gen 4?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. We'll see. Hopefully.
Obviously, it's not a great weekend. I know, again, you had the pace, as you said to me, in Berlin for pole position because you were fine at the front again. The race, though, these pack races, quite difficult, and obviously you got yourself caught up in a couple of incidents. Can you just walk me through your races and those incidents?
Yeah, the first one with Nato I feel very hard done by. I was completely alongside as per the regulations, that front wheel to wing mirror, and I got a penalty for that, which is harsh. The second one with Jev was completely my fault. I hold my hands up and apologise for that because it was clearly just a miscalculation on my side. So it happens in these pack races, but it's still not something that you want to do as a driver, so it's a mistake. With Evans on the last lap, I had already 20 seconds penalty, so I just tried. And unfortunately, now I'm not in the top 10. I have to serve 10 place grid penalty for the next race, so it's just worse on top of worse at the moment for me and for the team, actually, that we're barely scoring points. We don't have the pace in the races, but we're able to put it on pole. So a little bit of work that we need to do, and hopefully get a strand of luck next time.
You said to me before that you wanted to make sure the drivers know that you're no slouch or no pushover. When you're going for these moves, when do you think, okay, I've gone past the line, or where is the line for you to go, I'm not being pushed around, to I've made a mistake here?
I was never in that kind of mindset or position in this race. The one with Nato, I was already there. The one with Jeff was just a complete miscalculation. There was plenty of moving under braking, putting people in the wall, typical Formula E driving, but today just felt crazy compared to normal. I don't know if that's I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Someone told me there's 20 investigations after the race, which is just insane. I don't think I was ever in the mindset to prove myself that I'm not a pushover in this race. Just getting caught up.
Do you know, obviously, I know you accept some of your penalties, but in terms of the penalties that were given this weekend, they were quite different. There's no 5 seconds, straight to 10s. Obviously, Dan yesterday with the 33 seconds. Do you think the stewards were a bit harsh or a bit more strict this weekend compared to usual?
Yes. I don't think 10-second penalty fits the kind of racing that we have. I deserved a penalty for Jev, absolutely. 10 seconds maybe was the correct call. But for example, what happened yesterday, a drive-through was very harsh. I would expect 10 seconds from that. With the close racing that we have, a 10-second penalty puts you from first to last, which is extremely unfair. In F1 they have a 10-second gap between first and second, so it's completely different racing. I'm not the one in charge. I'm not the one to invent these kind of things, so don't know what to say.
Thank you very much, Taylor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.